no more oil could be placed in them. But that's what, if we hadn't met the deadline, that's what would have happened to the tanks anyway, and we wouldn't be able to heat the building. We wouldn't have any fuel. So we had to do something. And when we investigated propane, it turned out to be much, much less expensive, even with the purchase of those 3 tanks. If we were never able to sell those, and they became lawn ornaments, that, we have a raffle and give them away to people for lawn ornaments or something, the project, even buying those 3 oil tanks, is still less expensive than the total cost of doing the upgrade to the oil system. So it made sense economically to move in that route. We are talking right now with a potential buyer for all 3 tanks. I'm hoping that it works out, and we should know within a week or so. I'm guessing within a week or so. And we will recoup, I would hope, most of our cost for having to purchase those things. And then we'll be kind of out of the woods and out from underneath the regulatory problems and headaches that we're having with the oil tanks, because they require constant monitoring, and there's always the potential for a problem down the road. So that's what I can tell you about the oil tank project. We'll be very happy when we're done with this stuff. Let's see. I think I've reported all the rest of this to all of you. I have not yet received the response on my inquiry about the principal search. So I will contact them by phone probably next. That's really all I have.
When are we going to post the other positions?
What's that?
When are we going to post the other positions?
The other, what do you mean?
All these people that have retired.
Yeah, the other people.
Oh, all of them?
Yeah.
Well, not until you've accepted them, so I can't do anything until, we don't advertise jobs until it's been approved by accepted by the board. Probably do that very shortly. I'd like to try to get in front of the curve a little bit if we can.
That was my hope. They're going to be hard people to replace. So.
Well, they all are. Well, you won't replace them. You just don't replace that kind of experience.
Are we going to need special committees for the principal searches?
Well, it depends on the search vehicle that you choose to use, how you choose to do that. I think we should probably talk about that as an item soon. It depends. If you want to use a process similar to what was done when you hired the principal for the middle school, Mr. Phillips. You can expand upon it, you can tweak it and twist it a little bit. Depending on the agency, if you choose to use I hope you choose to use an agency to do the search, then they operate in different ways. And I also think before we really get into any full-blown discussion about this, I should probably talk to you a little bit in non-public about a personnel piece to this.
I don't have our policies in front of us, but I'm pretty sure, I know Lori Ann does. I'm pretty sure that there's a policy that talks about the principal search, and then there's a criteria. Now, if we wanted to, if we're gonna go out, I mean, we need to at least look at that policy and ensure that we're complying with our own policy. But I do recall, because when we did the principal search here, looking at that, there was some guidance in there for that. Yeah. About the committee and the structure and things like that.
Can that be on our January meeting? Because by then you should have heard back from this council.
Yes. I mean, I think by the January meeting, you need to make a decision of which way you're going to go, and then we'll launch the process then. Because you don't want to wait much longer than that to get going. Okay.
Unfortunately, we have holidays between now and then, so we can't do anything sooner.
Well, bah humbug to you too. Jones, did you have, I was quite taken back by your, as I told you, I was quite taken back by your power school, what you learned in power school class. But the other thing is the pie throwing contest. I'd like to come see that. Next Monday night?
The
next Monday during the day.
It's during the day.
We have a community meal, we all eat together, and there's a talent show. This year to raise money for a great speaker from the West Coast for next year. We got the time throwing contest. For some of us who've stepped up. No additions.
Okay. Mr. Phillips, did you have anything to?
Just
Sorry,
to
dear.
extend an invitation to folks, tomorrow night is our band and chorus concert, and so we'll be here in the gymnasium, so folks are invited to that. Just also report that teacher groups have been working on math and science curriculum on a regular basis, and some of that work we've done with the elementary school as well, in looking at various math programs. And tomorrow morning we'll be looking at, not tomorrow, Wednesday morning, we'll be looking at science curriculums. Also, each of us, with the other administrators, attended a meeting with PACE schools across the state. So just wanted you to be aware of that. That's all I have to share. Now, sir, Mr. Hines?
6:30.
6:30. Great. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I just got a reminder. Friday, teachers and students are putting on a holiday meal. Invitations have been sent home with students, but it will be served during the daytime. So folks are invited to that as well. There's a small fee, but it should be a good, healthy meal on Friday.
Thank you. Mrs. Clark, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No real additions, but just a reminder that the holiday meal at WES is on Thursday, and we're particularly happy that the high school band and chorus kids, or at least some portion of them, will be joining us during lunch and providing some entertainment during the meal, so it should be a special day.
And that's it for people that are here. So do you have anything from Bert or anything?
Yeah, I have a written report from him.
Okay.
It's all about the tanks.
What's that?
It's all about the tanks, right?
Yes. He will also be glad when this is over with.
So there's 3 bullets here, and it's all about the propane conversion and the oil tank removal and prospective oil tank sale, which is very happy news for us. And 3 items at the bottom says they've hired Ronson Smith as part-time custodian for this school. He's working out well, and it says.
Did we actually vote on him?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was gonna mention that we would have to,
I think we voted on the position.
right, we haven't accepted the
Not the person.
position, right?
Good point. I don't recall voting on the
So you'd have to put
position
his,
as well.
you need to nominate him, and then we need to,
Well, I don't remember, I never remember which board I said what to, but anymore, but
no,
technically, you don't have to, I don't have to nominate it. The only people that have to be nominated are certified teachers.
Okay.
You approve the position, we can hire, but you have a history of doing it that way. I don't have any problem with nominating them so that you can elect them in keeping with your past practice. So if you'd like them, whenever you want to, I'll just put it in nomination, we'll do that.
I have one curiosity question about since the facilities manager position is a little new, did Bert do the interviewing and hiring, or was the principal involved in the interviewing and hiring, or was it a joint effort?
I think it was a joint.
Both of us.
It was a joint effort. Okay, that's, I think, because I just want to see that that's what the intent
No,
was, it wasn't
it's-
for, okay.
No, that's happened elsewhere as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we sticking to past practice or going with what
If you like,
has
I'll
to be
nominate
chosen?
him.
Well, what's the discussion on that?
It
Does
doesn't
anyone
hurt.
object
What-
to
what-
it, or do you
what
want
does
to
it hurt
continue?
to nominate and-
Well, that's a topic for another time, but why don't I just nominate him and we'd be consistent that way?
Okay?
So I'll nominate Mr. Ronish as the
Monson
part-time
Smith.
custodian.
Monson Smith.
Where did I get that?
I don't know, but I read it, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah, so Monson Smith. I know Mr. Ronish, that's why I said that. For a part-time custodian
Okay.
position here at the middle school.
And that was the position that we found out after we approved it, that they had an objection to. Well, it is what it is for now.
But his objection was valid.
It was valid.
So-
And I, you know what, I think we didn't cover in that particular motion and discussion was why the needed change, and hopefully that is because there was an increased need for services here that weren't being met. But I don't think that was actually said, we just simply approved the position.
Right, we had a greater discussion, a meeting prior to that one, that's why I thought, when we'd agreed at that meeting, we had the discussion that was, and, Mr. Phelps made his points, and Dr. LaPlante made their points, why they needed the position, and that's why I think we all, at the last meeting, there was minimal discussion, we went forward with the approval, but what Jay said, I didn't even know that the position was taken out in the past, and it's a valid point, so but I think it's, like you said, it's a little late now, but it's next year.
Well,
Okay, I move that we accept the nomination of Mr. Smith.
moved,
Second.
seconded. Any more discussion? No, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining?